So what happens to my child support if my child gets a job? So let's say you got a teenager and you've been paying child support for a while here, and the teenager gets their own job and they're making their own money and they got some income coming in. Does that affect your child support? And if so, how does that affect your child support? I had this question from a client recently and wanted to take a look at it with you. So I'm attorney Brent Boyer from Adam, course, and don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel here. But child support and the topic of child support and money for teenagers, and what if the kid's working and they got some of their own income coming in, how does that all work? Well, so the way this goes basically is child support, you pay the same number for child support whether the child is 2 or whether they're 16. And I don't know which one is more expensive. Probably the 16-year-old has more needs and the costs get higher at that age. But Michigan does not do anything with child support based on age. And then if you have a 16-year-old, 17-year-old and they're working, they're bringing in their own money, yeah, unfortunately that doesn't have any impact on your child support. You're still paying the same number. You could always have some agreement between you and the mother of the child that maybe things should be different, or maybe there should be some sort of modification, and it's possible to do that. But there's nothing saying under the child support guidelines that because your child's working and bringing in some of their own income that somehow you should pay less child support, or that somehow has an impact on your child support. Unfortunately, it has no such impact. And then age too, like we said, is really, it's not a factor. You could have a young child or an older child, you're still ordered to pay the same amount of money for child support. So I don't know if that seems reasonable, or maybe that doesn't always make sense. And given the situation, kids get older and they need a car and car insurance and gas money and all these things. But you would not be required to pay more or less in child support depending on the age of the child. So those questions felt kind of related to each other. When I heard them from the client that was talking about it, this idea of what happens if my child starts working, but it's also a question of what happens when the child's getting older and they're into more activities and more things that cost money, more expenses, and they're just getting into a bigger kind of life going on, maybe extracurricular activities and sports and travel hockey and whatever might be going on. Those things are not they're not part of child support. They're not part of how child support's calculated, and they don't have any impact on child support. Whether you're required to pay some of those things or not, of course, is a whole another discussion, but in general, you're not. I mean, child support is just you're required to pay a number, and you pay it. It's kind of like a tax, and then that's it. And what it gets used for is not really something that Michigan law looks at. You pay the money to the other parent, and they use it for whatever they want. It's kind of the short answer on that one. So hopefully that helps. Thanks.